the kind of scary thing is it's pretty easy already to get, someone to believe something that isn't true, just making a page that looks rather official, even if it's not.
Right.
But it can be especially hard to tell the difference between something that's real and that's fake when we get into the world of photo editing and especially deep fakes. People who are very good at Photoshop can convince you that a picture is real. The deep fakes have gotten so good if you have the right software and you have enough footage of someone, and pretty much anybody would have enough footage, I think, of somebody who's very famous, who's, a politician or something like that, because they've done lots and lots of appearances. You can change the words they say.
Which is really, it honestly is sad that, you can look at a video and just be, it's even a problem for journalists before they report on something, because if it's a video, especially now during COVID, when people are doing things virtually, if they get a video of something, they really have to intricately look at it before they can report on that video if it wasn't something live stream that they were a part of. And it's unfortunate that everyday people have to do the same thing. The famous one being that video of Nancy Pelosi, where they took a video where she was just talking, and then they slowed it down so that it seemed like she was intoxicated while she was talking. But with that one, the fact that they had to slow down the audio was a little bit of a giveaway, because you can actually hear the background noise being slowed down as well. And so
yeah,
little
it's
things
like
that.
the Photoshop one where you can kind of see the messed up background, where
Right.
someone was editing it, and it's like, oh, they shrunk that part in.
Right.
You can see fix the background again.
Yes.
But you can't always count that somebody's going to make that mistake. And not to mention, these are done with AI. These are learning computers. The software is only going to get better.
Right. Yeah. So the main things that you can do to discern whether or not it's a deep fake, aside from, doing the outside work of just taking whatever that is and Googling it and just looking it up. And that's usually the fastest way to do it. But if you're watching the video, there are certain things like blinking, or the way the head moves, or the way the voice says certain words, or the speed of the words as they run together, that can give you clues to say that's not quite how people do it.
That's a little off, and it could still be even something where you're that's a little off from their natural method of speech, or something like that. There are things that could give them away. Everyone picks out the spam email that has more grammatical errors in it,
right,
than it does, English grammar sentences. But imagine if those same emails were coming and they had, really nice, fonts, and they were properly done in, American business etiquette, and the person sounded like they were a natural English speaker.
Right. That's where it gets trickier, because, even outside of videos, when you're reading a news article, the misspellings or the strange construction of sentences is a dead giveaway that is not a reliable source, that it could be even a bot that posted it. That's not even an actual person that typed it. Whereas when it is presented in a more professional sense, that's when you have to really kind of look into it. And that's when it might be helpful to, look it up, or you were telling me about that one website that seemed reputable on the outside, and once you saw actually where the money was coming from and what the organization was affiliated with, you saw, oh, this isn't reputable. But at first glance, it looked like a normal website, and so that's where it gets tricky.
When I used to do college level information literacy courses, I had one where it was a what's wrong with this kind of thing. But everyone thinks that, like if you went to a white supremacist, website, it would look like something out of American History X, if you've ever seen that movie. It doesn't. They have websites that look just as polished and nice sometimes as every other news organization out there. And it was one of those ones where I used to show it to a picture of it, because you're like, if you don't really know what you're looking for, you'd never guess until you had already read some articles.
Right. And there was another one that was mentioned in one of the articles that it was a company that specialized in fossil fuels that had sponsored an organization that made a website about climate change. And so, when you're getting your sources from somewhere, you have to be able to look at it and say, like we were talking about with the shredded mini wheats, where is the money coming from for this source, and is that going to determine whether or not it's reliable?
Yeah, always follow the money.